Okay, Michael, seemed to sum up our season. That we seemed to be in control even at half time, even though it was 1-1, and then mad period early in the second half where they scored twice and hit the post twice, and we've come away with nothing again.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. I think you look at, like you say, I thought we had control of the game, definitely in the game. Started off really well, front foot. The midfield was causing us a little bit of a problem to start with, but then our three in there, they matched them up and kind of just went man for man, and then I thought we were definitely on top, and we were landing on seconds, playing off Mark Jones. I thought Mark was a real focal point and brilliant, holding it up, winning his headers. I think we played off him, and even ones that are fight balls, they're landing, and then a Maka, a Luca, and Elliot, they're there picking them up and starting play off again. So yeah, really disappointed. And you look at their goals in the second half. One's off the bar, comes to him, finishes it. One comes off the post, comes to him, finishes it. And listen, they're good finishes, but are they a bit more alert? Are they a bit more brighter than us in that situation? And you have to say yes, because we've just kind of spoke about it in there, and maybe that's the luck that we haven't had or we don't get. But also, is it always luck, or is it the players making that happen as well? So you have to look at it both ways. But yeah, a game where I thought we were in control of, started really well, a good solid first half, and then just switching off a little bit in the second half, and then get a goal back. Good finish from Boovy. When you've got so much time, sometimes it's got too many things running in your head, but a good finish, and then obviously really ran out of time, and a real disappointment.
You mentioned Max there. One of the good things from the season is Max's goals. He's really dug in this season, and like you say, took that one well at the end. And another player, Ian Kanga, another good performance today.
Yeah,
on loan till the end of the season, I believe.
Yes,
Any
yeah.
chance of keeping him?
Well, I don't know. That's something we may look at, but we have to wait until end of season. Obviously, the club have to make decisions on everything before you can start looking at players. But yeah, Ian, obviously a young lad, he's come in and he's done really well. There's still a lot of learning for him to do. Because it's so different from 21's football. Nice pitches, just passing the ball around. It's totally different, and you've got to get stuck into men's football straight away, and he's doing that. But he'll be learning every game as well. Every training session, every game, he'll be learning and realising the demands of what it takes to be a footballer. And this is just part-time, so if he wants to go higher up as well, he has to take all this and, like I say, just learn from it. And he's definitely got the capabilities of playing higher. So, but for us, he's doing well. And for a young lad, it's it can be tough coming into a league like this, but he's adapted really well and keeps putting in performance after performance. And
his centre-back partner, Anthony Stewart, went off early in the game. That looked like a hamstring from up here.
Yeah, so just that will just have to be assessed. Hopefully it's not too bad, but obviously we haven't got long left. We've only got a couple of weeks left, so that'll be touch and go, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, as a partnership, they were doing quite well together, but when Anthony went off and then Kane having to go off, just disrupts it a little bit. And you got two key players to the game there, really, that have had to go off, and then you've got to adjust. We haven't got a natural centre back on the bench, but Parry's gone in there and done well. He's come on a sub the other day, but he hasn't played many minutes since obviously he's got his teeth knocked out. So he's come in there and done well and done a job. But I'd say two substitutions that kind of killed our momentum a little bit. But we still got players that are on the bench that are good enough to come in and affect the game as well.
What was Kane's injury?
He just, when he was running back chasing, I think the guy just, when you're running at Kane's pace, anyone gives you a nudge, you're going to go flying, and he went flying. I think he landed straight on onto his kneecap, and I think because the ground's quite hard still, I think it's just hopefully just more of an impact rather than a twist. So again, we'll have to assess him this week and go from there.
And once again, the wind really ruined the game as a spectacle, and it's quite open here, isn't it? Even with the addition of some of the stands, they are quite low, so the wind does affect the game.
Yeah, definitely. But you've got to play to the conditions, and you've got to know that when that ball's in the air, especially if you're playing that ball forward, it's going to cause havoc for defenders. It's so hard to judge the flight of the ball. It's so hard for this. But I think if you look, Mark Jones did it really well. He was winning a lot of headers and fighting the centre halves. And like I say, the midfielders were getting onto the seconds, and we were getting into areas, especially first half and even in the second half as well. And I think sometimes you've got to maybe just believe a little bit more that my number 9's going to, he's going to do them. He's going to win the flick-ons. Because I think there was one in the first half where Mark's great header flicked it on. It's the perfect one, and it doesn't always happen perfectly, but flicked it on inside. Luca gets there, and we get an attempt at goal. And I think just into Mark for the goal, hold up play, and then out to Malik, and then back post. Kane's there, great finish. So I think you've always got to adapt to the conditions, and when it's windy like this, it's not going to be pretty. The football's not going to be too pretty because the pitch is quite bobbly. But I thought we played some nice stuff at times as well, and we've got the capabilities of doing that as well. But both teams have to adapt to it, and yeah, it's not you don't want to be playing in blustery winds, of course you don't, but when it does, it can cause problems for defenders more than strikers, and you've seen Ian's put a ball through. Looks like it's just try and get after that Boovy, but the wind moves the ball, the centre half is running back and he misses it and Boovy's in. So it just shows you sometimes how simple football can be.
And sure, you want to mention Mark Jones' lovely moment at the start where there's a guard of honour from both teams to mark the end of his 10th season here at Sports.
Yeah, no, listen, Mark Jones deserves all the plaudits that he gets. He's been sensational for this football club. I can't speak more highly of him. He's a player. As a player, he's a player that you want on your team, and you know that Mark's going to give you 100% every single game. Whether he's not having the best game himself, he'll still make it hard for the opponents. And the longevity that he's had here, the appearances he's made, the goals he's scored, the promotions he's got, he's so humble in everything he does. And me and Mark have had a lot of chats when I first came to the club. He was worried, you're just going to come in and play now and everything like that, and we had to fight for it. And I've just never seen Mark Jones not have a bad game, and I can honestly say that because, like I say, when you're off it as a striker, and we play in the same position, we're both big lads, we both have physical battles with defenders. When you're having a bad game and your touch isn't right or your link-up play isn't right, what can you do then to affect the game? And I tell you what, I'll make it hard for these centre-halves. They won't have an easy afternoon. And if Mark's game's off, he'll do that for you. And as a player, that's superb. And as a manager, it's even better because I know that I can trust that player. But yeah, what he's done for this football club, is nothing short of fantastic. And like I say, he deserves all the applause. And I hope that people really, look at him and think, or look at him and tell him and speak to him and thank him for what he's done for his football club, because 10 years at a part-time club and the promotions he's had and the travelling he's had to do, with a real job that takes out of him as well, early mornings to late nights, and still turning up at training and going to games and going to work, and then having a young family. All credit to him. And like I said, I just want to thank Mike Jones for being a great teammate and also a fantastic servant and a fantastic player for me when I've been manager as well.
And full game for him today. I think I'm right in saying that's the first time this season, but they obviously knew how dangerous he was because he absolutely got kicked off the park today, didn't he?
Yeah, no, and that is week in, week out. So before, in previous years, whenever we play, and I know I changed position and I went to centre back, but teams would ask, are you playing up front, Gashi? Or literally their words are, or is it Big Mark Jones? And they know if it's Big Mark Jones, they're telling their centre-halves, you're in for a game today. And he'll take it. He'll be the battering ram so that these players around me, these great little footballers around me, can benefit from it. And that's what that's what a target man, a real target man does. And I think Mark does it brilliantly. And like I say, I've loved my time here as a player with him, and also being his manager, because he's a player that I love to have in the squad, in the team, whatever it may be.
So that's it for the home games for this season, then Worksop next Saturday. What do you expect there?
This is another tough game. Worksop have done well this season from coming up, so we know it's going to be tough. It's another 4G pitch, so again we've got the players that can play on that. Like I've always said, Nige, this league is so tough, and whoever you come up against, whether they're fighting for something at this stage of the season or not, you're still going to get a tough game, and we look forward to it. And like I say, we'll always prepare properly. We'll make sure we do all the right things throughout the week, and we'll go there, and like I always do, whether I'm a player or a manager, I'll go there and try and win the game, and hopefully that's something we can do.
Well, thank you for talking to us again, Gashi. Hard lines today, and we go again next Saturday.
Cheers, Nige. Thanks.